All right, so I guess we can start. We are the Valor's vampires, and during our time at summer at camp, we created the air canvas. And air canvas is simply just an object detection algorithm that we developed, where through a webcam, the algorithm tracks the position of your finger, and on a corresponding canvas, um, it starts drawing for you based on where your finger is. And we also add a bunch of different features to customize your drawing experience.
Yeah, so more specifically, these are the 5 features we added. So the model is able to recognize all 5 of these different hand gestures and change the brush or the canvas accordingly. Our first gesture is a thumbs up, which will increase the brush size and also tell you what the brush size currently is at. As a counter to that, we also have a thumbs down, which will decrease the brush size. To actually draw on the canvas, the computer is able to detect a finger point and draw wherever the tip of the finger is. We also have a palm, which will switch the brush from a drawing utensil to an eraser. And to change it back, the computer is able to detect a fist to make it a brush again. And additionally, as another feature, we can also change the brush color by putting your fist along the left side of the canvas. And then depending on how high or low your fist is able to change the color of the brush.
As this is a computer vision project, the biggest part of our project was our neural network. And our network allowed us to detect finger points and all the gestures that Tiffany described. And we trained our model with YOLO v5. I'll wait for that to get pulled up. YOLO v5 is a newer technology that lets our model look at a single frame, a single time, to detect all the objects in it instead of multiple times, which saves a lot of time. It was really important because our project is webcam based. And we collected all of our data manually. So at the end of week 1, we all went out and collected about 100 or 200 images each through our webcams to make it as realistic as possible. And we used RoboFlow to collect our data and draw bounding boxes and train the first few iterations of our model. And we credited our images, and we integrated our webcams into the project with Flask, which was probably the hardest part.
Also, here are the credits for images.
And then here's a basic timeline of our project. So during week 1, our team started by learning about machine learning, neural networks, and the application of the technology. And soon after, we began brainstorming project ideas. After some careful debate and consideration, we settled on Air Canvas, which is a webcam-based art application. And Air Canvas began as a convolutional neural network trained on internet stock images. However, we promptly realized that this approach was flawed. There was one simple error. The internet data didn't match our webcam data. We realized that our webcam-based service required webcam-based data, so we began building a new data set. So during the weekend, each team member was assigned the task of collecting and annotating 130 webcam images. So it's truly a product of hard work. And during the second week, we have the webcam images labeled in our data set, and we used RoboFlow's data augmentation feature to get more data, avoid overfitting, and account for different webcam environments. So for example, we messed with the brightness and saturation to account for different lighting conditions, and added noise to defend against adversarial attacks, flip the images to have more of a mix between left and right hands, and more. And once we finished finalizing our dataset, we learned about convolutional neural network and YOLO's algorithm before training our model with YOLO v5. And after that, we used weights and biases to evaluate our model's accuracy, precision, and recall. And next, we started working on the canvas and webcam, and which involved using CV2 to draw circles with different sizes and colors at a given coordinate, passing our webcam frames into our trained model to detect the various hand signals, along with their coordinates and classes, and drawing a bounding box around the gestures with CV2 and writing code to adjust our brush based on the detected hand signal. And eventually, we got started with the front end of our website, which includes picking the template and editing the information presented. And then during the last week, our team put our heads down and got to work on the website design aspect of the project. We learned HTML, Flask, CSS, and other tools to accomplish this. Through much trial and error, we finally finished our website before the end of this week, and we even had time to spare. And then by the end of all 3 weeks, we were able to successfully train a model to recognize the 5 gestures and change the brush or add color to the drawing accordingly. Furthermore, we wrote code to capture the process video from the user's webcam, created a canvas that displayed both the webcam and drawing, and coded in an option for the user to upload their own images for the background of the canvas. For the gestures, we also added bounding boxes for when the model recognizes the user's hand gestures, display the brush size when the user puts a thumbs up or thumbs down, and change the brush color when the user has a fist along the left side on the canvas. And that's pretty much about the process of redeveloping the air canvas. And let's move on to our team introduction.
Yeah, so before we move on to the demo, we just want to talk a little bit about ourselves, the people behind Air Canvas. So my name is Stephen Jones, and I had a lot of fun working with these guys, and I learned a lot about object detection.
Yeah, my name is Jiayi, and had a blast doing the 3 weeks and learned all about the computer vision and all that. And shout out to Seth.
Hello, I'm Parker, and I also had a wonderful time with AI Camp.
Hi, I'm Nathan, and I had a great time learning how to write new languages and just have an overall great time in this camp.
And my name is Tiffany, and I also had a lot of fun, and I was able to learn a lot about the different programs and algorithms for AI. And I really enjoyed the teamwork and hands-on project-based learning of AI Camp.
And we also want to give one shout out to Eddie. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it here today to be with us, but he played a really important part in helping us building the algorithm. And finally, we'd like to thank Summer AI Camp for giving us this opportunity, and give a special thanks again to Seth for mentoring us throughout the project.
All right, I do want to mention he's just gone to school. He's at school, and that's why he can't be here. It's not because anything bad happened. But now I will show a demonstration of this project. Let's see. All right, so when you click on that link, it brings you to this. And of course, it shows your webcam right here. And so finger point to draw. Let's see. Well, there. Maybe it's the lighting's a little different. Hold on. What about now? Well. Oh, okay. So sometimes it's a little finicky and you have to hold your finger at like a certain position. So the finger point to draw, and you can decrease the brush size with thumbs down. And now it's purple because I thought I had a fist. And if you have a fist, it changes the color. So now it's blue, or yellow now. Green. And if you hold up a palm, it changes to eraser. But that's not big enough, so let's give a thumbs up. Make sure it's on eraser. And get rid of some of this mess. I will say it's very delayed because it's hosted on the CoCalc website, and so it's going through a server. So it's kind of delayed with the response. But yeah, there's that. And so you can also upload a file of your choice, whether that be a blank color to like give yourself your own canvas, or like an image of your choice. And I have this one that I want to upload. It's this wonderful sunrise. And of course I can, I'm holding up a fist right now, so I change it to the brush and change the color. And now I'm gonna draw. Well, maybe. It can get a little finicky too, but well,
Yeah, Nathan, you might want to try hold up your fist kind of to the side for a bit to get it to recognize it, and then try drawing.
yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to do right now. Maybe the back of it, side of it. Am I even in the, okay. And now, oh. So it's working. There, I'm just making my sunset way prettier. But that's our website, and it's of course it's being hosted through a server, so that's gonna make it really delayed, and you can return to the home page and go back and whatever. But I'll hand it over to Seth to show you what an accurate demonstration would look like if it wasn't like hosted over a server.
Yeah, so kind of what Nathan was saying, one of the biggest problems we had was just because we were hosting it on the server a lot of times, the time it takes to send the data from our local webcam onto a website, have it process it with our model, and then display it on the screen takes a while. So there's kind of that delay we saw. So I will, give me a second, have a local demo we can run. So I'm starting it up now. Takes a second to boot up, and then I will share my screen. All right, awesome. So it's a really similar thing. And on my computer, it's also slow, but that's just because my computer is slow. But yeah, so we have the same thing. We put a thumbs up and we can see the brush size is increasing. You can do a fist, and in this case, it's blue. And so then without the delay, we can start to draw things. So say like we want to build a house, we can build a box for it. And then lower the brush size to build the roof. And then start building it. Well, I'm not a great artist, but that's kind of how it works right there. Lower the brush size even more, and we can make a blue chimney. Something like that. And then move out of the way, and we have my beautiful artistry of a box. So yeah, that's our demo. That's our project, but Seth in a house, exactly.